Moto's mini bike 140 final about to get underway. Riders taken to the course in just a few moments, and we'll have a look very shortly at the lineup for this final. And here we go with Rhys Stevenson leading them away from Ben Lord, Will Lathrope in third, Jim Lovell, Daniel Pearson and Mick Lord making up the second row. Further back we have Richard Holmes-Williams, Ty Butler, Stuart Hardman in row number 3, Chase Collymore, Charlie Hopkins, Jake Whittaker in 12th place. Going down to the midfield, it's Carl Sanders, Tommy Olmond, Rob Overend, Ryan Clark, Oliver Linsdell and David Barfoot in 18th position. Michael Mead in 19th from Paul Mitchell, Adam Jamieson, Gary Jacobs 22nd from Nathan Smith and Nathan Gardner in 24th place. Craig Rowland in 25th, Darren Coleman and Harry Clark making up the rest of the row from David Wilkins in 28th, Mark Goff in 29th and Scott Dermott in 30th place. Kevin Clark, Ian Gamble and Jack Wolfe, Michael Briggs, James Cockfield and Dan Baker in 36th position. Marcus Burton 37th, Stephen Blatchford 38th and David Linsdell, Harry Pell, Shane Hopkins and Tom Wise in 42nd place. So a full complement of riders. I think most if not all of the riders still racing and taking their place on the sighting lap now. Last few riders just making their way out of the paddock, out of the waiting zone for the formation lap. And this fantastic atmosphere shot as the riders make their way through the sighting. There we see the gives you an idea perhaps of the spectacular scenery that you get around here at Pembrey. We're on the Carmarthenshire coast. Very scenic part of the UK. We've got the we're not too far of course from Llanelli, the nearest major town you might say. Carmarthen about 25 minutes or so up the road as well. This Pembrey track sitting between roughly the two tracks and very close actually to the neighbouring Pembrey Country Park, which goes out onto the coastline, and I'm sure that's been very busy today with people enjoying the beach and enjoying the forest walks as well. Fantastic weather and a great venue of course for this 6th round of the Rich Energy British Mini Bikes Championship. So we're about to get things underway with the Moto's Mini Bike 140 final. Riders lining up on the grid now, and of course with so many riders this might take a few moments, adding to the tension of course for the guys at the front of the field. There's Ben Lord on the 48. I noticed Rhys Stevenson starting quite far back in the pack there, so we'll see him making his way through to the front on that front row any moment now. Of course, Lord there nice and early, and it just adds to the tension, you would say, as he can only just look behind him and see what's going on as the riders sort themselves out into position. Last few riders just taking their place on the line now. So certainly our start marshal at the back appears happy that the track's clear and all riders in position. So here we go, under starters orders now, eyes on the lights. And away we go. Oh, scrappy getaway there from Rhys Stevenson. Has he got the line into the first corner? No is the answer, as Lord goes down the inside and takes the early lead. So Ben Lord, the early race leader. Daniel Pearson also well placed. They all seem to get through the hairpin okay down on the run to the centre S's. So a difficult start there for Rhys Stevenson, which means that Ben Lord takes the early lead. Look out for Daniel Pearson in third, still right in there. As Stevenson fights back, nice switch back out of the centre S's, goes down the inside and Stevenson into the lead. The midfield runners go charging out of the corner. Here they come up towards the Brooklands hairpin. So Stevenson has made the move stick, holds on to that lead. Down the speedway straight they go. Lord now down the inside of Stevenson and retakes the lead. So Ben Lord back into the lead. Stevenson second, Daniel Pearson on the 77 right on the tail in third. Incredibly close action as they make their way through towards Honda for the end of the first lap. And it's a drag race down to the line as Stevenson goes back into the lead. Lord down the inside though into the hairpin. It's going to be a tight one here, but Stevenson's got the line round the outside and holds on to the lead. So Rhys Stevenson maintains the lead on the 1, 2, 3. Lord Fighting back though as they make their way up towards the centre S's. Lord on the outside of Stevenson. And Pearson down the inside here as well. Pearson late on the brakes. Oh, he tried to snatch that second place, but Lord had the corner and holds on to second position. Rhys Stevenson, 1, 2, 3, your race leader. Trying to pull away now as they make their way out of the centre S's down towards Brooklands Hairpin. That long sweeping right-hander as they go down towards the Speedway straight. Stevenson pulls away ever so slightly, but this race is still wide open. Will Lathrop in there as well, and maybe Chase Collymore also getting off. There's Collymore. Richard Holmes Williams it was in 6th position on the edge of this little battle for the lead. So Chase Collymore leading. Mitt Lord, Ty Butler, Stuart Hardman, Charlie Hopkins, Carl Sanders all in the midfield, getting through to the edge of the top 10 as the leaders make their way down the straight once again. And Lord again trying the inside, but he's not going to make the move stick. Stevenson's got the line into the corner and holds on to the lead. Rhys Stevenson holding on to that lead. Lord again trying the inside as they make their way to the centre S's, and Jim Lovell now up to 3rd now from Pearson. Pearson coming under pressure from Lathrop, who again tries that inside line, makes the move stick. Lathrop now up to 4th place. But Jim Lovell's in 3rd, and can Lovell get involved in this battle for the lead? 2.5 laps to go in the final as Stevenson holds on to the lead. Lord in 2nd. Oh, and look at Pearson there fighting back. Lathrop had the faster outside line and holds on to the position. Meanwhile, Lord having a look down the inside. Oh, and he makes the move on Stevenson. Ben Lord into the lead. Now can he hold on out of the chicane? Here they come towards the final corner. So Ben Lord, your race leader. Stevenson fighting back, and Stevenson back into the lead as they go on to the finish line straight. But look at the 97 here down the inside. Jim Lovell. Oh, and they're 3 abreast into the first corner. Great move there from Lovell to take the lead. And oh, it's going to be close out to the corner now though. Ben Lord fighting back on the outside line. Stevenson still right in there as well on the outside. And Stevenson with the outside sweep will go back into the lead. 1.5 laps to go. And yet again, another race that at the moment is far too close to call here. Any one of these 3, possibly 4 riders could win this one. Still plenty of action through the midfield as they all make their way through. Michael Med, Rob Overend, Nathan Smith, Craig Rowland, Michael Briggs all charging through in the midfield, but 1.5 laps to go. And yet another lead change as Rhys Stevenson goes back into the lead. 4 riders now battling for the lead as Jim Lovell very briefly took the lead. Will Lathrop involved? Oh, and Lathrop again, another inside line move from him there on Carter's curve. Really has put on some brave overtaking moves. Very quick on the entrance to the corners. Now up to 3rd place. We all wait for the 1 lap board that's now being shown as the leaders make their way down the straight for the penultimate time into the hairpin. Oh, and they're brave under braking. And as they all fight their way out of the corner, this time it's Ben Lord on the number 48 that leads the way into the centre S's for the final time. Stevenson breaks away in 2nd. Lathrop tries to fend off Jim Lovell in 3rd. Further back, Oliver Linsdell, Carl Sanders, Ryan Clark, 3 abreast into the first corner. Very close action on the edge of the top 10. Here we go then round Brooklands Hairpin for the final time. Rhys Stevenson leads the way, but Ben Lord, one last try for him now through Carter's curve for the final time as Lathrop and Lovell close up. It's going to be a 4-way fight for the lead as they make their way round towards Honda for the final time. The 44 going through. A bit further back, that was James Bullivant, but here come the leaders. Oh, and it's going to be close to the line, side by side over the finish line, and Stevenson takes the checkered flag by 1/100th of a second from Ben Lord. Those riders basically side by side over the line, but Stevenson taking the victory by little more than a tyre width. Lord in 2nd, Jim Lovell in 3rd, only 1/10 of a second down. Lathrop in 4th, half a second adrift, so half a second covering the top 4 riders. Then it was close. Dan Pearson with a bit of a gap on his own in 5th place. Chase Collingwood, we just saw go through there in third, almost side by side from Ty Butler. Mick Lord in 8th place, Richard Holmes-Williams in 9th. Stuart Hardman in 10th place from Charlie Hopkins, Carl Sanders 12th, Oliver Linsdell, Ryan Clark, Michael Med and Rob Overend in 16th position. Gary Jacobs 17th, David Barfoot in 18th position, Mark Goff, Nathan Smith rounding up the top 20 from Jack Wolf, Craig Rowland, Michael Briggs, David Wilkins, Harry Clark and Stephen Blatchford a bit further behind. Kevin Clark, Ian Gamble, David Linsdell, Scott Dermott in 30th, Harry Pell 31st, Darren Coleman, Mark James Cockfield, Tom Wise, and last rider we just saw squeezing through on the lead lap there was James Bullivant. Very close racing throughout the field, but Rhys Stevenson taking a thrilling last lap victory. Yet again, we've seen some fantastic racing throughout the afternoon here at Pembrey.